Okay, so once again, it is a fine line between stupid and clever, and I'm going to show you my latest project I just picked up, thinking this is going to be a quick flip and something really easy, but now I have one of these bad boys. This is a 2007 T B Dutchman camper. For those of you who've never seen the inside of one of these all torn up, let's take a look. I picked this up, kind of a garage find, a couple days ago, and I didn't realize it when I got it, but it looked like a tree limb has fallen on the top of it, put a big dent in the roof. That broke out the ceiling fan and created some water damage. Now the whole liner needs to be repaired, but come with me, I'll take you on a tour. So the first thing to notice is that it's missing its trailer jack. So I've got one on order from that for about 50 bucks. It's dirty as all get out. I pulled it out of a field, so it might look better after a power washing. I've already gutted the inside. The previous owner spray painted all this yellow over the gray, which is probably going to go back to gray when I'm done with it. I've taken out all of the cabinets. I've taken out all of the cushions and things, and I've got it kind of down to the bare bones, and I'll walk you through it if you've never seen one of these. Here's the galley. So first we have the car stereo and some storage space above. The water pump does work. This was the space for the three-phase refrigerator that was not working. I decided I don't want to deal with that, so I'm going to create this into just a storage space where I'm going to put a 12-volt car refrigerator. The space under the sink and the water storage. There's also a swamp cooler, Arctic Cool. I haven't tested that to see if it works. The power inverter seems to work okay, at least on a first trial. I haven't tested with a 12-volt battery yet. There's all the wiring of all that stuff. There were no rats or mouse droppings in here, thank goodness. Here's the heating unit, which is exact same heating unit that I have in a pop-up camper as well. And the venting system for that. And then just the cabinetry with some storage of where the cushions will go for the mattress, and then some rear storage. My biggest problem in the whole project is, and the windows are in good shape. One of them is missing a couple of latches, so I'm going to have to source some parts for that. But what I have is water damage in the ceiling from the broken ceiling fan, and all of there's a ton of this particle board that is soaked and damaged, and it's created a big dip. There you can see it pretty good in the lining. So that's the inside of a 2007 barn find T B Dutchman. So I've had the T B Dutchman for a little over a year now, and although I didn't do all of the lofty changes I was hoping to do, I'll walk you through what I have done, and really do enjoy this little camper. Starting at the tongue here, I did just throw an aftermarket jack on there that works just fine. I did repaint all of the yellow spray paint back to good old gray, and in the battery compartment here, I've replaced the old lead acid battery with a lithium ion battery and a lithium ion battery charger. It's attached to that line is a conduit that goes over the top, and there is a solar panel on the top there. I relocated the spare tire from underneath the camper to the side of the camper on the tongue here, and behind the spare tire cover, it holds in place a pop-up camp shower that is the exact diameter of the spare tire, and it's just held on there by the spare tire cover. Kind of keeps it out of the way, and we don't use it every camping trip, but it's nice when we do. And let's see, not much to see around this side. I did notice another problem whenever I got to looking at the axles. It looks like this might have been a wreck in the past, because it looked like a different axle had been put on it, and the drum brakes were completely gone. So they had left all the hardware underneath the camper for the drum brakes, and I ended up deleting the drum brakes altogether, deleting the rest of the hardware. That must have dropped the weight a little bit, but the total, the dry weight of this camper is under 1,700 pounds, and now it's even a little bit less. You don't need brakes on anything in Colorado until you're over 3,000 pounds. So I've never had any trouble towing it, at least in the probably 6 or 7 trips that we've taken at this point. I'm not going to show you my license plate. There's my solar panel up on the roof. That seems to be working okay. I can't even remember the exact wattage. It was a package deal from Amazon. Going into the camper, I'll show you starting with the replacement with the refrigerator. This is a 12 volt refrigerator that does not take ice or anything. It can be stored in either a horizontal or vertical position. Plugs into a 12 volt outlet. I just made a cigarette lighter outlet there on the side. And with the lithium ion battery, if we're doing an overnight or a 2-night camping, we can kind of keep all of our stuff cool the entire time with that. Really super easy. I haven't used the swamp cooler or the furnace yet. We haven't had the opportunity to camp in the cold, but that might be something we're going to do this fall. When we camp in the summertime in Colorado up in the mountains, it gets plenty cool overnight, so we don't really mess around with, we haven't had to use a heater. I replaced all the cabinets, got everything really cleaned up. I ended up leaving the ceiling intact the way it was, mitigating as much of the water damage as I could, but doing a really deep clean on it. And I replaced the ceiling fan there with a fancy one that has like all kinds of extra features. It runs both ways. It's got a remote control. It has a sensor on it when it rains, so it closes in the middle of the day. It's just whisper quiet. So that was an expensive fan on Amazon. I think it was like $300, but it was definitely well worth it. For the windows, I got rid of all the old window hardware. I put up my own curtain rods, made some curtains. And for the screens for the windows, I got magnetic screen kits that you can get on Amazon. Really cheap stuff, but there's just a magnetic screen that fits across the frame. Works perfectly for our functioning here. The biggest change that I made was this galley table in the middle of the seating. And what's nice about it is it's on an articulating arm. So you can swing it in multiple configurations, whether you're, sitting with a lot of people, or you can swing it sideways this way, or you can swing it to one side, depending on who's wearing it, and everybody can get around it, or it can kind of get out of the way, swung back that way. Then when I'm making the bed at night, you just pop that articulating arm out of its little holder. Now, the tab was originally designed with a table that was on legs that descended down and became the platform for the bed. To make up for that, see if I can show you, is I created these extra wood frames. Here's this one with the cutouts for the voltage and stuff. But these wood frames just slide out underneath the cushions. Now I just pull the cushions down with one hand. There we go. And push them together. And that becomes the bed. And the back cushion folds all the way down. I guess I can show you that with one hand too. Table out of the way. A little click. And that goes down. And now, if you can imagine, with the whole bed pulled out on this side, this is a full, at least almost as big as a queen size bed. And so my wife and I are quite spoiled after tent camping and living in a pop-up camper. This has been absolutely wonderful. The other great thing about this camper is when we bring our mountain bikes camping, we can shoehorn the bikes right in here through the door and rest the bikes. We kind of cover up the cushions with an old shower curtain, and that's what we rest the bikes on. And so for traveling with mountain bikes, I don't have to have an extra bike rack, and it works great. Anyway, so that's my little camper. As an added bonus, we picked up from the original owner this tent that is purpose-built for the Tab camper. It slides in and attaches to the rain rail along the camper and almost doubles or even triples the size of the space. We even put a tent inside the tent once. I also built my own shade using that same rail with a shade sail that you can buy online for pretty cheap. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can like if you like. You don't need to subscribe. I've got a day job. Anyway, this is the fine line between stupid and clever. Have a great day.